Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 BMW 760i. This is finished off in Dravit Gray Metallic. The MSRP is $144,000. We have a few packages to bring up that MSRP that we will go over, of course. And we have an ultra luxury focused sedan that has a lot of features to go over. So let's start off with what this 7 Series is powered by. Underneath the hood, this is the 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8. This is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 536 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, sent through that xDrive all-wheel drive system, where this model also has 4-wheel steering. It weighs in around 5,000 pounds. 0 to 60 is 4 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour. As far as fuel economy goes, you're looking right around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 26 out on the highway. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, for this model with the kidney grille, the entire surround has the illumination, which you can see at nighttime, which is a really cool option to get. There's the sensor for the adaptive cruise, forward-facing camera. There's also active grille shutters that will open to provide additional cooling. There's also a lot of cutouts in that lower section of the bumper too, as well as on the far ends. Now, for a lot of the newer BMWs, they have the headlights and high beams in the lower housing. DRLs and turn signals are in the upper housing. I think it's a really nice split design. And there's also some contoured lines in the lower section of that bumper to blend it in nicely and give it a great look. Now, this also has a set of 21-inch wheels with a nice multi-spoke design to them. These are the M Sport wheels. M Sport brakes are just behind that, finished off in blue. And then there's a lot of gloss black accents for the side. It's in the lower side skirt there. It's also on the lower section of the body-colored mirror caps. These are power folding. There's a turn signal and a camera. Full moonroof up top, and then all of the window trim and even the accents around the door handles are gloss black. There's very nice lines that run down the side too. It has a little bit of a boxy design to it, but I think it works well for this stretch design for the 7 Series. Now, this also has a very small trunk mounted spoiler. There's the backup camera, dark housings for those LED taillights, more gloss black, and sensors in that lower diffuser. You can also remote start this vehicle with the key fob. And of course, you can use the key fob or the button down below to open up the power trunk. Now, for this 7 Series, the back seats do not fold down, but you have a lot of space. There's battery access on one side, storage bin on the other, and you can fit in quite a lot. There's even a cutout in the middle there if you have some longer items. And then up top, you can use both of those buttons to close or lock the vehicle. And then a really cool feature with the 7 Series, you don't have to open up the doors manually. You can just push on that button. And a really cool feature with this 7 Series is that you don't have to open up the doors manually. You can, but you can also use that control to open and close the door. For this door panel, a lot of leather, which is great. There's also all of the sunshades, which are automatic. There's the electronic release, manual release, a little bit of storage. And then there's even this cell phone sized tablet for the entire door panel here. So you can go through a lot. You can get into the blinds, so you can adjust all of those as needed. And you can even get into your modes, so that way you can go through all of these, just depending on how you feel for the day. And then as we hop in, we can go over some more of that information. If you don't feel like reaching for the door all the way out here, like I said, you can close these manually. You can just reach, push on that button, and the door will close itself. Now, if we go into display, we can talk about the theater screen and fold that down. While that folds down, all of these sunshades are going to close just to give you a little bit better screen view, especially if the sun is out. But you have 2 split screens at the moment with the massive one right in the middle, so you can go through quite a lot here. You can scroll through a little bit of info here and then set some icons up and everything the way that you would like to. So there's a little bit more than what I can show today, but it's pretty neat to see that. And then when you're done, just fold it up and then you are ready to go. Now, you can also attach different tablets and charge them behind both front seats. There's storage pockets, climate vents, a little bit of storage down below. And then in the middle, you do have a little bit of storage there with cup holders and even storage behind the armrest. And then this is how you can gain access into the rear for whatever reason. And then you can just hide that away and close this back up. A lot of light can be provided to the back here. It's very, very spacious. I have plenty of room for my legs, and I have 3 or 4 inches above my head. So it is very spacious for your backseat passengers. And like I mentioned, you can close these doors manually if you like to. But if you have some things in your hands, you want to get that door open, you can do that, grab your items, and then you're ready to go. Now this model has a lot of crystal, so you will see that throughout the entire interior. There's the window adjustments, side mirror controls, trunk release, and a very similar design as you saw in back. Now to close the front door, at least on the driver's side, you can push on this button or put your foot on the brake pedal and that will close. Now we have the leather steering wheel with your cruise control settings, volume, music, you have Bluetooth and voice commands. And as we start this up, this also has paddle shifters. Really cool design for the spoke in the lower section there. And then using these controls, we can go through the info in this gauge cluster here. So we're going to start off with content, where you can scroll through all of this, just depending on what you'd like to see for the day. You even have the augmented reality, which will be a little bit more beneficial at nighttime, but still helpful during the day. There's also a few different layouts that you can go into, and even the head-up display. So you can scroll through this depending on the display that you would like to see. Now on this left side, there's the headlight adjustments along with some air vent controls, more of the trim accents. And then for the infotainment system, you have a lot to go through. On the home screen, there's the split style. So you have nav on one side, and then you can scroll through everything on that left side there. You can also get into your phone, and then you have a lot of icons to further go through. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then everything else that you would like to set up to your liking. You can get into your climate adjustments, of course. You have temperatures on both sides, even shortcuts to the heated and ventilated seats, as well as the heated steering wheel. There's navigation and your music too. So it's a really easy system to use, and you can even use the controls down below. So if you don't want to use this as a touchscreen system, you can quickly go through this and use that rotary dial to further go through all this information. Now below that, there's some more climate adjustments along with your recircs, there are air vent controls, wireless charging, and then there are cup holders which you can hide away. There's ambient lighting just in front of them. And then the volume controls finish off in crystal. There's tuning. There's even a shortcut to My Modes, which you saw on the rear door handles. So you can go through all of these depending on the mood, and it will also change all of the lighting too. So now for sport mode, it's going to be red and blue. And so again, just depending on how you feel for the day. This also can raise. So with the adaptive suspension, you can get a little bit more ground clearance. You can also go into these settings here to adjust that as needed. And there's also a shortcut to the camera system. Now when you push on that button, it will automatically pull up the forward-facing camera. And of course from there, you can go through the rest of this to go through that information. Now in order to put this into reverse, just push on the crystal shifter forwards, and so you can bring that up. There's also drive and sport mode, and then park is just by pushing on the e-brake. Auto hold is just behind that. There's a split style for the armrest, and then push on this control right here. That will open up the glove box. And then up top, there's also garage door controls. You have dome lights and the controls for that entire sunshade and sunroof. And this is a look at visibility. You can easily see over both shoulders, so there's really no blind spots for this large 7 Series. And with it in second gear, sport mode, here we go. And just like that, we're up to speed with the incredibly smooth shifts. Paddle shifters are very responsive too, and on this left side for this paddle shifter, if you hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, you will notice Sport Boost count down from 10 seconds. And so that's just going to give you a little bit more response. If you need to pass or merge, you can push on that paddle. I feel like it's very similar to if you just downshifted 2, maybe 3 gears, depending on the situation that you're in. So I think it's kind of a gimmick, but it's neat to see. You can push on that and then let your pedal to the floor there. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 7 Series. I've been in the 7 Series before. It's been a while since I've been in the gas-powered version. I recently reviewed the i7, which is the electric version. So there are 2 different options to go with. I personally would go with this 760i. I just like the combustible engine. I like the sound of it, the performance that you get from this. It's definitely a very nice luxury focused vehicle. And as far as the turning radius goes, it's a long sedan, but with that rear wheel steering, even that quick turn right there, you can feel the back end kick out, which is something to get used to. But with its size, it makes it very, very maneuverable. So I think that was definitely an added mechanical aspect that this vehicle needed. But driving this, it is what you would expect. It is so quiet and comfortable. It really is a great place to be for daily driving and just running errands. It's a practical vehicle too with its size, so you can fit in a lot of items and a lot of people for this. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 BMW 760i. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.